Sweet darling, that ain't the way you make love. You've been turning around uptown. You ain't some fancy clown. You ain't some fancy clown. You've been turning around uptown. You ain't some fancy clown. You ain't some fancy clown. You've been, I hear you in the background. Ooh, I hear you in the background. I hear you in the background. Ooh, I hear you in the background. You've been turning around uptown. You ain't some fancy clown. You ain't some fancy clown.
Fellas, what's happening?
What's up?
What up?
What's going down in the city?
I can't call it. What's up? What's up? 23rd back in the building.
MD.
Always, baby.
Indeed. BackAlley, fellas. It's it.
Happening.
Podcast. Second episode. What's happening?
Oh man, it's your world. I'm just saying it. What's happening?
1/3 of your host, Michael
Yep.
D.
Another
My man,
third.
the
Brother
elder
Six.
God,
Brother
the elder
Six.
God,
Brother
the elder
Six.
God, Brother Pat.
Oh,
What's going on, people? What's going on?
That's
What's
the
going on?
foundation. You know what I mean? Our heart and soul, Brother Six.
What's
Brother
happening?
Six. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the 1/3, the youngest of the crew. Mike, you know what I'm saying? Brother Mike.
Brother
You know what I'm
Six,
saying?
coming from 23rd. Oh man, you know I moved to the Carolinas now,
That's
so
it, it's
I'm
it.
chilling with the elder.
From
He's got me by
Louis-
my hand and under his wing.
Ah,
At 50. At 50.
hey.
See, I ain't even grown yet.
Man,
That's the way it rolled, though, don't it?
That's how you do it. It's how Big
Oh,
Brother's supposed to
man.
do. Put you under the wing. You know
What
what I'm
y'all
saying?
doing there? I ain't doing nothing.
Nah. Pat, what's up with you, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, man, just another day, man. We moving forward, trying to stay positive and keep things moving. How
Yes,
about
sir.
you,
Yes,
brother?
sir.
Brother
Yes,
Cap.
Yo,
Yes,
we
teach
definitely
hard,
want
brother.
to shout out our first time listeners, or if you just tuning in, our viewers. We hope that you will continue to follow us as we continue to grow. We want to thank you so much for your support. We want you to tell a friend about the BackAlley podcast, the BackAlley
sir.
Fella
Yes, sir.
podcast. You know what I mean? Saying brothers just doing what we do, having great conversation, having a good time, and we just want you guys to continue to follow us. Check us out. Again, tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. You know what I mean? They call that piccolo player. No, never mind. We just want somebody to view us and to tune in, rock with us, and continue to help us grow. And with that, you know what I'm saying?
No, by the way, we
Yo, what's
cannot
up?
forget, we don't own the rights to this music.
We do not. We do not. But we
Yes,
do
sir.
have the right to vibe to it, though.
Right on.
We do have the right to vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Hey, we're gonna take a
UGK.
pause. We're gonna take a pause, a quick one, real quick, right here. Take a pause. We're gonna give a shout out to you know who. Fat Blood. Fat Blood in the house. What's up, Red Dog?
Big Red.
Hey man, that's our brother, man.
Man,
That's our
man.
brother,
Rest
man.
in peace, brother.
Yeah,
Yes,
rest
sir.
in peace. Rest in peace, brother.
We'll go
If
ahead
you
with
don't
over
know,
that.
this podcast would have had 4 members. And our brother who's no longer with us physically, but
Yeah.
mentally and spiritually, he's always with us. And so we always will shout him out, and he will always be present on this podcast and in our hearts and in our minds. Peace to his queen, peace to his daughters, his
To his
4
family,
beautiful
man.
daughters,
Family, his wife.
his family, everybody. Peace to them always and forever.
Brother Reggie Smith.
Yes, sir. We love you, brother. We love
We
you.
love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
can
sir.
toast to that. Love you, man.
Yes, sir.
We
Yes,
toast,
sir.
man. Let's toast.
Everybody good though. Everybody weekend was good. Y'all do
Yeah.
some y'all hand out some candy to some kids. Y'all do anything?
We chill, man. You know, with everything
Okay.
that's going on, we just kind of chill, man.
Junior, what you pointing at? I'm sorry, 6. What you pointing at? You said, oh, that's 7-0.
Nothing said. Ain't
Okay.
said nothing. Ain't
Okay.
nothing. Ain't nothing.
Pat,
They
I was
played
saying,
no team yet.
ooh, they play the Ravens. They play some teams, bro. But
They
yo,
play
listen.
Buffalo.
Oh, okay. I see. But Pat, Notre Dame,
Yes, sir.
Clemson,
Yes, sir. It's gonna be an epic
no
fight.
Trevor Lawrence. Listen,
Hey, but their backup is just as good.
Okay.
Oh,
So we ain't coming with no excuses.
yeah. But this
I
is
mean,
the
if you want to do
opportunity.
that, I can go
Come
down the list.
on,
We got
man.
3, 4 of our starters that still out.
every time somebody starts talking about boxing,
They gotta break up.
Hey, I came
See,
out there.
Man, Notre Dame was.
Ah.
I said no excuses. Hey,
Yes, sir. Y'all,
Right,
ball.
right,
Y'all beat
right.
us.
tune
Y'all
in.
beat us. You beat U of L, so
Hey,
ain't got
yeah,
nothing to say, bro.
yeah. They did be you.
That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. So yo, you know what we do every time around this time, we do a thing called our back alley toast. And what we want everyone to do is, as we continue to do this, this will always be our toast, unless we come up with something even crazier.
Right.
But this is our toast. We want you to participate, join in, and again, like I said, get your friends, do this wherever you at, but make sure you shout us out when you do it. But we start with one thing, and the one thing is we must know what's in your cup. So, brother Six, I want to know what's in your cup, brother.
Well, I got a fresh thing of water there, brother.
Yes, sir. Good old
Yeah, I'm on one of them.
H2O.
I'm one of them fastens, but on the side of it, I might have something in the cabinet.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Little aqua. Nothing wrong with that, brother. Nothing wrong with that. I got a little aqua myself. Nothing wrong with that. Big Pat, what you got in your cup, brother?
My libations, I'm gonna tell you, man. During the week, I try not to be too hard. So during the week, I'm rum and coke, man.
Rum and
on the
coke?
weekends, I'll get a little, get maybe a little top shelf, a little stronger. But right now, Old Faithful, rum and coke. Y'all know I've been rocking with this is the 80s. Rum and coke.
Okay. Old school. You know what I'm saying? Old school.
Since the brass monkey in the back pocket.
Ooh, that rock gut. That rock
What you
gut.
got, Mike? What you got in your cup, Mike?
Man, I got a little
Or MD? What your name is? MD? Mike? I ain't gonna call you
Cassius.
government.
Mama
Cassius?
call me. Mama call it Cassius.
Your mama call
No.
it Clay. I'm gonna call it Clay.
Man, I go by anything, brother Mike. Whatever you want to call me, brother. We
Okay,
family.
that's
So
peace.
whatever
That's
you want to
peace.
call me, I'll
That's
answer
peace.
to.
That's peace.
Whatever you
That's
call
peace.
me, I'll
Yes,
answer
sir.
to. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
sir.
You can call me Ray.
Yes, sir.
You can call me Jay. You know what I'm saying?
We're not gonna call you as delicious. I'm not calling it wrong name.
And I wouldn't ask you to. And I would not answer to it either. You know what I'm saying?
If
But
you
you can't
did,
say,
I'm out
but you
of
can't
there.
say handsome though. You can't say that though. You know what I'm saying? No, I got a little grandma's tea. You know, nothing, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't know what that is, that's a little green honey tea with a little simple syrup with a smidge of Crown Royal Peach. Just a smidge. You know what I'm saying? Just a little something. You know what I mean?
Put that on
Last
the market
one,
there, bro. I
didn't he?
don't know if
Well,
I'd
you know.
have gave that recipe out. I'd have probably
I mean,
put a
man,
little
listen,
coffee right
everybody,
there.
listen, it's for everybody to share.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
how you put your proportions together is different. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I'm a lightweight.
Sounds like you Brandon to me, brother.
We try. So with that, we want to go ahead and get this popping, and we want to get our libations. We want to get our toast. So
All right, let's
I
do that.
believe.
So let's put our cups up.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right. So there's bottles, glasses, cups that are plastic, alleyways backwards, perfection takes practice. Friendship, kinship, 2/3 of the street dynasty.
Yo, this brotherhood from the neighborhood. This podcast is going to be a classic. Divine state of mind, movement sublime on the rocks, brother. Give me something strong.
A mixer, maybe a slice of lime. Put your drinks up. Now let's link up. Snub but love in this atmosphere. Peace and salutations, family, brothers and sisters, the fellas. We in here.
We here.
Cheers, my man.
Aye.
Oh boy, that hit the spot
That
right there.
cool, refreshing drink.
Let me ask you, brother, something.
What's going on?
To the elder, any news in the back alley, brother?
Talk
Yeah,
to
I
me.
think, last week we dove head first into the Willie Lynch letter. A lot. I think I learned a lot. I grew a lot. And I think we gave out some good information. But this week it was kind of just on our hearts and our minds. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna navigate through this normal? Changed, whether we like it or not. So how? That's the question we're gonna pose to the listeners, to you brothers. I pose to you all. How do we navigate through this new normal?
6, please.
How do we navigate through this new normal?
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes, sir.
I first want to state, and I'll put this out here and just put a staple in it right here from me personally. Ain't nothing about this normal. Ain't nothing about this normal, but it's something we're gonna have to live with and get used to. It's definitely not normal. I just want to start, brothers, and I did a little research and a little studying and a little self evaluation. I stood in the mirror and I thought about this, and just bear with me while I take y'all and walk with me just for a minute, and I won't hold your hands. But at any time, pull your brother's coattail and remind me. So check this out. All of us have a gift from the Creator. Our duty is to find out how do we use this gift to the best of our ability. And the greater the gift, the bigger the trial. Because you have to learn how to use the gift and not let the gift use you. So to start, I wanted to say that the first thing I think living through this new norm, navigating through this new norm, you have to know thyself. And I remember posing a question a couple of weeks ago to you brothers and asking, hey man, what do you think the best gift the Creator has given man? I myself, I said choice. One of you brothers said life. And then it was someone that made the comment, I think it was you, Brother Mike, that made the comment, well, if choice was it couldn't be that, because if the Creator has already had a plan for us, then there's no plan, there's no choice. You can't have a choice because it's already been made for you. That was very interesting. And I thought and I pondered on that, and I said, you know what? Life probably is the best gift that the Creator has given us. And I just wanted to say to you brothers, thank you, because that made a whole lot of sense. But I went on to say that there's only two real things in your life to be grateful for. And listen to me when I say this, public. It's only two real things in life that you ought to be thankful for. That's the greatest gift ever. That's the most important days of your life. One, you was born. And two, the day you find your purpose on earth.
Wow.
Those are the only two greatest days of your life. Now, saying that, the first thing that, like I said, is knowing thyself. And where do you go from there? You got to learn first where you came from, where you at, and where you're going.
And let me ask you, brother, that's during the pandemic is what you're saying.
During the pandemic.
You're saying take this time that you're stuck in the house to learn.
Oh man, what other beautiful place it, because you got time to self-reflect.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a brother, and I'm gonna go off, I'm gonna step aside for a minute and I'll get back
Please
on.
do.
But I
Please
was
do.
hearing a brother, and you introduced me to the brother, and he said that, during this pandemic, it's such a thing going on that we're in an uproar. Don't go out to these riots. It's a setup. It's exactly what you want that they want y'all to do. They leaving bricks, letting you burn down homes so they can bring it in and shoot you for free. Come on, man. I'm just saying, think twice before you go out here and you do something, especially being on unorganized.
Yes.
Please don't go out with the unorganized. So back to my point. So I said all this to say, for me personally, this is personal, and I'll let you brothers have the mic. To me, I just need to get back on my square. And during this time, during this time, you really got time to understand, okay, what I mentioned, where you came from, where you at, But where are you going? And to do that, I believe I am what you call a fruit. What is a fruit? A fruit is the best. He is constantly training and conditioning himself to meet and overcome all obstacles in his path.
Teach.
To do this, the sole purpose is to help the dead rise to the great creator. That's the purpose. And to do this, I am compelled to be obedient, militant, humble, tolerant, courteous, honest, and dependable. A fruit, he is obedient to the laws and those in authority. His conduct is militant. He's humble and submissive. He's tolerant and understandable. He's courteous and respectful. His thoughts and his deeds are honest. With his actions, he's alert and dependable. That's what I'm trying to get back to, brothers.
Okay. That's
One last point.
Go ahead, bro.
We ain't looking for justice. We want revenge.
I'm gonna tell you something though. You know what? I'm gonna raise my cup to that because I thought about this and I thought about this, and I'm gonna go a whole different direction. Am I going next, Mike?
Please do.
You got the mic.
So I'm gonna go a whole different direction, but you saying that put me in a whole different mindset because I thought about that because I too need to find myself, and my cup's up to you, brother, for that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That was
Yes,
peace,
sir.
brother.
So,
That was peace, King. Real.
Yeah. So as I thought about this topic, you know, the first thing that came to my mind was, first of all, do we even know what normal means? Word normal. We can say, how do we navigate
to the root of it.
the new normal?
Break it
Hold
What
on,
is
Pat.
normal?
Hold on,
Yeah.
Pat, real quick.
Get to the root,
Brother.
brother.
The A alike is so crazy. God, I'm gonna tell you, when I build, you'll understand what you just touched on.
Walk with it.
It's crazy where you walking.
And you
It's
know
crazy
what?
where you walking, brother.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you how even more beautiful the vibe, the link is. Don't touch that. I'm gonna make one statement and leave it alone because again, I'm going a whole different direction. But I wanted to start off with that, and that's beautiful because you can pick it up and run with it.
The hand.
So
The alley-oop.
in thinking about what normal is, first thing I did is kind of what we all do. We all students at some form of education or educational system. So I went to Webster and I asked Webster, what is normal? He said it's conforming to a standard, usual, typical, or expected. That's what Webster says normal is. So how are we going to navigate to a standard? Whose standard? We going to navigate to something that's typical. What is typical? Because what's typical for me, brother, is not typical for you. Typical for them,
Come
not
on.
typical for us.
Teach.
Or how are we going to conform to something that is expected? That's how Webster expected. From who? From the Most High? Peace? Government? Expected from who? So, but I'm going to leave that alone because in my mind, how we navigate through this new normal has to be tied, and brother, this is going to be dear to you, Mike, financially. We have to figure out, first, brother six, who we are mentally, physically, and financially. We like it or not, this world, not just the United States, this world runs off of a monetary system. We're no longer in the systems of bartering. I wish I could have lived during the times of bartering. Hey, I'm a plumber, you electrician, you fix my electrical wires, I do your plumbing. We eat.
Yes, sir. Break it down.
But this world is ran around financially. So I just looked at a couple things. I'm gonna put this on your mind and our listeners' mind real quick, if y'all can bear with me for just
Please
Go
do.
ahead,
a second.
Take
So
your time.
someone said after, listen to this now, after a big storm, the captain of any ship does three things. He checks for damage. He sees if he's went off course, and then he makes sure all his provisions are safe. So if you look at the African American, the Black community, we as a whole, whatever terminology you want to be classified as, we're going through our biggest storm, or not the biggest, but one of the biggest storms ever, because
Okay.
our history has been a big storm.
Yes, sir.
So one of the things we got to do to navigate through this normal is check what damage it is. We got to check. We have to. What did this pandemic do to us as a people? We got to see if we off course. People are losing jobs. Over 22 million people lost their jobs during this pandemic. But the one fact that nobody gets is in the last 6 months, over 12 million got jobs back. So, but are we off course? Where were we headed as a people and as the United States? Are we off course? And then last, our provisions. You know what our provisions are?
Come on, teach.
Our kids, our family, our finances, our property, our bank accounts, everything. Those are our provisions. Have we checked to make sure our provisions are still safe? So for me, and then I'm gonna pass it over to Brother Mike, in order for us to navigate through this new normal, we have to figure out where we are financially. And we gotta start with pennies. We gotta look at every penny, one penny that's leaving our household, where it's going, what are we doing with it, and how can we bring 2 or 3 pennies back in the household after that one?
Come on.
That's what I think, brothers.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What you got, Mike?
I ain't
I'm
want
trying
to get
to-
too deep on you now.
No.
Hey, bro.
You take us out to the deep
That's-
waters. You know what I'm
that's a-
saying? Take
that's
us
a
out to
piece
the
of the
deep
puzzle.
waters. So I too, Pat, first 6 that was beautiful. It was brilliant where you would took it. Because we the same as we talk about knowledge of self. I think that is always key. Know thyself, so that you can understand not
Exactly.
only where you're at, but where you are looking to go.
Yes,
And then
sir.
finding your purpose and understanding what that purpose is, and then working towards that. So I too kind of went that route, was like, okay, let me go look up, what normal is. But I went and I tried to do what was the etymology of normal. Where did it
Okay.
stem from? So the origin is Latin, and it's norma, and watch this, Pat. It meant carpenter's square. Originally,
Tied in.
so around the 1500s, it was kind of like had a meaning of typical or common. Around the 1640s, it was mainly used. The term normal was used, and the definition would have been more in geometry, like and I think it said something like standing at a right angle or perpendicular. Okay, so and so in that Latin, it was more around the 17th century. It was more dealing with the right angle. It wasn't until maybe around the 1828, maybe a little older, where it began to have the meaning of conforming to common standards established under usage, regular, usual, kind of the definition that we have now. And there was really no word, so it just as I was looking, and I didn't go any deeper to try to figure out how did it go from right angle to normal. And the reason why I wanted to build on that and look into that a little more of the etymology is a lot of times we use words we're not really understanding how they were put together and who made that meaning. So I'm trying to look at the root and see how we're using it now, what the root word was for it then, because like language can be spellbounding. It can, it can, and it can define you based on the words and the things that you use. Because again, words are nothing but signs and symbols of your thoughts, your intuition, and your feelings. You see what I'm saying? Words are nothing but the signs and symbols to represent your thoughts, feelings, and your intuition. And it's generally the least effective way of communicating words. So that being said, I too thought about what is normal. Even when we're talking about in this pandemic, the first thing I had to think about was, well, how do we define what normal is, even if we just disregard how the term normal came into effect? How do we define normal? And I think,
Yeah.
Pat, you hit on that. Like, normal to who?
Normal to who?
In the existence in the Western Hemisphere since let's use 1619. I
Okay.
believe that there were, if we're talking about slavery, I believe that there was before then in the 1500s. But let's just use 1619, Jamestown, Virginia. If we use that as a starting date, from that period to now, and how do we say normal? What is our baseline? What is the baseline for us to even establish what normal would be, to then say what we exist in, what we are carrying on right now, we need to get back to, or we need to reestablish? Like, we don't even know, because we've been in so much turmoil and so much
Yeah.
hell.
Yes, sir.
The coronavirus is just, it's like truffle butter. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's good. It's just another little thing on the side, but we done got all the other stuff that's already established. We done been through all this other stuff. The menu has already been laid out. The preparation of the food is there. So if you add this truffle butter, you add this Corona, one way or another, it's still gonna be, what it is. And so I looked at that timeline, and I know we were talking about the pandemic. So I looked at like 1619 to about, for 246 years, to about 1864, 1865, that was American slavery. Then I looked
Okay.
at about 1865 to about 1964. You had 89 years of segregation. Ending the Jim Crow was around 1964. Civil Rights Act was passed. 1965, you had the Voters' Right Act. In 1865, that was when the Ku Klux Klan was actually born in, I think it was Pulaski, Tennessee, or something like that. So you had that period of time. And now from 1964, 65 to now existing. Now, I was born in 71.
Come on.
I just gave you a timeline of my grandparents, who I live with, along with my mom. They were born in 1913. Big Mama, Big Daddy, who I didn't meet, but was just a stone throw away from me touching, had to have been born before 1865 or somewhere around there. So when I think about normal, and I think about everything that's going on right now, again, I don't know what that is. And I don't know to whose standard are we supposed to be going, other than ourselves, and other than in the order of whomever we fix ourselves to submit to. Now, one thing that brother Pat said that I found interesting about the finances, and I looked up that as well. So it said in 1863, blacks own 1/2 of 1% of the national wealth. Today is just over 1.5%. And now there was an article in 2020, February of 2020, by the Brookings Institute. They said that the typical net worth of a white family is 171K. That's 10 times larger than blacks. And this was around 2016. And the typical income for a black family is $17,150. Now, I pulled up this other, I think this was with, it says that black households headed by a college graduate are less wealthy than less educated white ones. I don't think y'all heard me.
Say it one more time.
Households headed by a college graduate, Black households headed by a college graduate are less wealthy than less educated white ones.
Man, that's something right there.
Says in 2015, college educated white men over age 25 made a median of 32 per hour compared to $25 for Black men. So understand, I was looking up some things about, how we have with graduate degrees, undergraduate degrees, education, and so forth and so on. There's things that we within my work area, whatever, that we can't even really discuss or talk about as it relates to using terms systematic racism, things of that nature. But when you think about this whole thing, and you look at that, and you look at, and there's report after report where they talk about there's one that I have to find where they did research, and they had Black families and a white family or person that worked in the same industry, pretty much doing the same thing, with generally about the same education level in education, with the same credit score, around 700 something, a pretty good credit score. And they found that Black families were less likely to get the best interest loans, or were denied interest loans for house, for home, which makes up about 2/3 of wealth for families, in generational wealth. So it's not about whether or not we understand when we do this, we gonna go get the education, we gonna get the certifications, we gonna go this, but the goalposts keeps getting moved. So we go back to how we navigating through this normal. It's like, well, beloved, I don't know if I want to go back to a normal, nor do I want to go back to your particular standard. I am now ready to define mine and my own standards and live by that and govern myself by that. Because if I keep trying to chase this dream, I may not, it's not for me. It was never built for me.
Never.
And if I keep trying to, it's like, I told my wife, I got a saying now. I ain't got to finish it. You just understand. We don't need no water. You know the rest of the part. Let that. All I got to say is we don't need no water. You know what I mean? Because I'm fighting for something, and again, I want to keep going and keep making sure that all people, everyone, has an opportunity, fair, equitable opportunity. But why am I so busy rushing to try to do something when this wasn't really established? And every time I keep trying to do this, you keep trying to move the goalposts. And I understand all of the things that come with that, but that's just not my normal. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
And so I need to establish, okay, what is it knowing myself, knowing thyself, knowing my purpose, what works for me? Is living in this, doing this, does that work for me? Or doing like this work for me? And so again, I love where you brothers was taking. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
sir.
let's dialogue.
That ties in with everything that we was talking about too. Because
What hold on, I think Aaron Biff over there said something. You know what I'm saying?
So
He said,
in other words, summing all that up means that you want to rise from a dead level and live on a living perpendicular.
yeah, but if you're not gonna tell me what 3, 5, and 7 means, then we don't say none of that stuff. I don't, because I just want to know what that means.
Now we know a little bit on what I was teaching on. Now we know about
Brother
a little bit about where we came from, and we know where we at. We know this is not normal for us. Now let's discuss on where we headed, brothers, and how we get there. And it start with finance, Pat. Yes, sir. I'm with you on that, brother. Because at this day and time, America's falling. America's for sale, and so are we if we don't get back to our straight and narrow or on our parallel.
Yeah.
Get back on our square, brother, because it all starts with us. Now, what do we do? That last comment I made about justice and revenge. Come on, brother. Now, I get on Facebook. The brother called me a faggot. His brother called me or did something to my sister, called me a lame, called me on my name. Now we got what you call a beef. I don't know how we compare it to animals but anyway, now we got something going on Facebook. He ride by, me and my homies on the corner, we vibing, we got the frequency going on. His eye, they can't even get in this circle. They just keep off. He get mad, he fall off one. Boom. What we gonna do? We gonna ride. Because we gonna get him for killing our homie. That's revenge. Same deal. Cracker come through, pull us over. We talking about, man, I got my rights. Put us on the curb, lock up. One of us get beat, take to jail. We end up dead next week. First thing we scream about is we want justice. You can kill your own brother, but you want justice for the cracker. Comes a point in time, man, we get tired of that. We can't keep asking for no damn justice. And justice from who? From who's normal?
But what is revenge gonna give you?
Brother.
I'm just asking, what does revenge
that's
get
the
you?
whole point. That's the whole point of the struggle to me right now. You keep hollering for justice. Who you getting justice from? From the people that's going to send you to their jails and their prison? But you're going to ride on your brother and kill him because he done shot one of your own. But when the police come in and kill you the same way, you want justice.
I understand what
you
you're saying.
Tell me what the difference is between justice and revenge, and then I'll tell you what revenge is.
I understand what you're saying. I'm saying, but
now, do you feel my frustration? Don't overstand what I'm saying. Do you feel my frustration? Because I'm not speaking with sense right now. I'm speaking with frustration.
Well, yeah,
and I think, brother, and I said all that to say that we really do have to organize. Get back on what you brothers were talking about that finance, and that's what I wanted to say. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You just ain't gonna keep over talking me though. That's what you're not gonna do. That's what you're not gonna do.
I was thinking the same thing.
You ain't gonna keep over talking me, sis. I'm gonna let you I'm gonna let you build, brother, because I see it's in your heart. You know what I'm saying?
Because they came through. You got to think about where we came from with that finance and what you brothers was talking about. We had our own doctors, our own schools, our own movie theaters and hotels and homes and good living. They came through and they tore it all down, man.
But listen. I was listening to brother Kaba Kabani, this off of Hidden Colors. If you don't know, you can look him up under brother Booker T. Coleman. He was saying something the other day when I watched him, and it was mind blowing. And I have been thinking about this for a while, but there's more research that needs to be done. And he went back and he took it back to let's say to Kemet, and even prior to, because Kemet is the daughter of Cush, and Cush is the daughter of even further inward and southward, with the Twa. You know what I'm saying? The Twa people. You see what I'm saying? So Kemet is at the doorfront of what everyone else, the rest of the world was able to see. It was the mouthpiece. But they recognized that everything was inward. It was downward where they got all the knowledge and everything from. That being said, it said that before the if we want to call it the Asian or the Arab or anyone else foreign
Indian
it came in and started to conquer whatever, we had already begun to implode within ourselves, mainly up in Kemet, based on a lot of different things, based on the conditions, because the climate and things were changing.
Yes,
other things were coming in. There was integration that was going on amongst foreigners that were coming in, and we were allowing them to infiltrate and to be in the armies and to intermingle and to do just things that we always do as a people. You see what I'm saying? And we started to implode, and those things started to digress. And from time to time, the kings and queens from south had to come up north and or up south and wreck shop and get things going. I say that to say, even now, and trying to bring it forward to where we at in this pandemic. I think one of the things that I was watching, listen to my mother-in-law early today. I'm watching a little bit of the news because I try not to pay attention to it. And I'm looking at everything on TV and I'm watching what, people are saying, oh, I'm nervous about this. And I'm saying, for what? Fool, you ain't got to go outside after you vote. If whoever gets it,
Yes.
don't get me wrong, I would hope one particular would get, because I understand what this other person means if he stays. I understand that. And I'm like, ooh, I don't think we want to see that. I think people could say the lesser of two, brother, you ain't thinking if you say that. I'm just telling you, you ain't thinking that thing all the way through. You ain't seen it all the way through. There is a difference. I say that to say, stay home. Turn the TV off. If you've already voted, ain't nothing else you could do. Just wake up in the morning and they gonna tell you who won, or we got to count these votes.
That's it.
And that's it. Ain't nothing else you could do. Ain't no reason to get upset if somebody do this or this, because that's in the courts. They gonna play that out. The game has to be played whatever.
Yes.
What you gonna do? What's your normal? We have to start to regulate ourselves. As you said, get back on our square, find our square, and demonstrate our measure. It's like we got to start to be on that. You know what I'm saying? And
if you think about it, brother, I hate to cut you out, but before I forget this, I'm a little older than y'all.
Go ahead, T.
You're right, and we have to start doing it now, because this is a systematic plan that's went all the way back. Because if you go all the way back to the Bible, and they talk about Noah had his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and he got drunk, and Ham saw him and made fun of him, and he cursed Ham's fourth son, which was who? Canaan. And you had Ham had sons Cush, and so we as a people come supposedly, if you go by that history,
and I don't, but I feel you.
But I'm saying that
yeah.
They're putting out there
Yeah.
that we had a curse from the beginning, and they're teaching people that.
Yeah, and that's part of our problem.
Yeah,
part of our problem is because we don't know ourselves.
So in a nutshell, they're teaching us that we've been cursed our whole entire existence.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the problem, is because we believe instead of knowing.
Instead of knowing.
Well,
instead of
no
being.
longer believe no more. We got to start knowing, brother.
And the problem is that people are afraid. And we're going to touch on this somewhere down the line when we get into our spirituality and all of that. That's another topic for another day. But people are afraid to read beyond, because see, it's easy. I don't want to touch on this. But the divine is saying to speak on it. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's easier for me to think and to believe that something external is going to come and is going to take care of everything.
Yes, sir.
Instead of me having to be about the business and being in line with my divine nature.
Yes,
to be in accord, on the same accord with all this around me, my divine,
all one.
Yeah.
And so if I do that, now I must be accountable and be held accountable.
Brother.
To all that is. Now, what was you about to say, Brother Pat?
Now, in saying all that, because we're talking a lot about spirituality and ourselves and being one with ourselves, we can't ignore the fact that this pandemic has exposed the world of some things, and there's going to be physical changes that we're going to have to live with, whether we whether we work with inside or not. For instance, our whole infrastructure across the world is going to have to somewhat kind of change. Sidewalks small. So if we have to social distance for years to come, how do we do that in places like New York, Chicago, Detroit with them small? So that means cities will have to go in and change infrastructures. You got basketball, football games, you got parties, you got, you know, there was a group in Toronto. It was funny. I read a little article. There was a group in Toronto did a social distance test. Walk down the street with different stuff like hula hoops and stuff like that, 6-foot rings to keep people 6 foot away. And it was virtually impossible to do with the infrastructure that we have in place.
Yeah. Hey, did y'all see? Did you know that they found water on the moon?
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
sir.
did y'all just see that article?
Oh no,
by
no,
NASA?
no, I did not see the article, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no. So I need y'all to pay attention. So the comet, as a matter of fact, today, I don't know if it's already passed, if it is in, but it's in our orbit.
Orbit already.
This same comet, I think, will come back. I don't think this is the one that comes back in 2030, something like that. But in 2068, they're monitoring to see if this one will actually be on a path to hit. But it's in the orbit this today, as a matter of fact.
On that same subject, Mike. I told Pat the other day that the movie, The Deep Impact, where they sent up the missile or whatever, I forgot how it exactly went. And you're probably seen this since you into that, where they sent up the missile and tried to explode.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Yeah, they just attached. The NASA just showed a thing where they attached and they actually were able to successfully grab something off an asteroid. They just did that.
$1 billion or something like that.
Well, they just, I mean, literally, they just did that, and they were saying that one of the hatches didn't close, so some of the space, the debris that they gotten off the rock, came off. So my point is that, see, sometimes when we think about that, so I don't know if y'all saw the movie Martian by Matt Damon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. So my father-in-law had talked about for a long time, you know, creating a school, kind of like a space academy, more like a science, more on a STEM perspective.
Okay.
Here's the thing: if you watch the movie, you know Matt Damon got stranded on Mars. He had to he had to use his
Plant his own
species
food, cultivate.
to cultivate the ground in that environment to grow food until however long. Like he didn't know that they was going to come back, but they came back and so forth and so on. Did the math on this, and so in his travels and in his log, he was like, you know, he said something about maritime law. I would be this, and it got me to thinking. And when my father-in-law was talking about this, I said, "Now wait a minute now. How do we use maritime law, which is the law of the sea, on a planet, on another planet? That don't make no sense." So it made me start thinking, oh, so I told y'all one time I went to a doctor appointment with my daughter, was reading, maybe it was Science magazine or National Geographic. It was talking about Mars. It's talking about, you know, man trips, so forth and so on. I'm gonna tie this in or whatever to the norm or whatever. At least I hope I am. And it goes into this group back in the 70s that had talked about this, and they made this society and a think tank and so forth and so on, and how they were able to, I'm gonna use the term infiltrate, but how they were able to eventually get into academia and in the government and all other places to guide to where they're talking about now, some point doing man trips to Mars and so forth and so on, and shifting the focus and the dollars and the narrative to get it to where they wanted to be. And they were thinking about this in the 70s. And they were talking about this. My point being is this. We have to think manufacturing jobs are not coming back. These particularly not in the way that we think before.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when we're talking about sidewalks, when we're talking about the new paradigm of what it looks like, when we talk about the way that we go to school now, when we talk about infrastructure and laying lines or new Wi-Fi, those are the things that we have to start thinking about now, because those are going to be the new billionaires that move
Yeah.
forward, the ones that can come up with the idea to say, we need to do this so that people have access to this and this and this, and you don't have to do this. They already going to do this. So why don't come up? So if you know how to do, I can't think of the term right now, it escapes me. When you're dealing with the soil and you're dealing with cultivating the earth and all of that. So why can't our young people, as we're learning that about this and growing food and things on here on Earth, why don't we think about what that would look like on another planet and how we would need to grow that there? Then we should be thinking about laws. Now we've already seen that just on the laws for social media and the internet, we're still behind on that. So when we really start to travel into space, interstellar, it just within the orbits of some of the planets,
Okay.
what laws are going to be governing those people that live or are on those planets, and those people that are born, if a child is born on that, what happens to the resources, to the minerals, or things of that nature that come with that? We should be thinking about that now.
Yeah.
And coming up there. See, if you wait on something, this is why I say you got to know yourself and know that we did that.
Why
We
we
were the
did it.
navigators.
We
We
put this-
navigated without a navigation system.
Yeah.
We had before OnStar, we was on the star. We were able to navigate by using the star.
Right.
We were the explorers before we had a Ford Explorer.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my point. And so this is nothing new. But if I get to, and this goes back to your thing about the Bible, whether or not you believe this, and we talk about normal and whether we believe that or whatever. See, if you accept that you don't know how to do math and science, give you example. My daughter, Taliba, you know, they lived in Atlanta, the whole nine, came here. So my daughter Kennedy, she had these little rubber bands, you know, they got the little board where you can make little rubber band bracelets. So
Yeah.
you know, in the neighborhood, you know how neighborhood kids. And I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be significant, because when I told my wife we were talking about this, I equated it to school. I equated it to normal and how they put this on us. T made these bracelets. My wife was like, T, that's pretty. How you make that? T was like, oh, you know, I took the rubber bands and did this and made that. Trey was like, you ain't used the board? He was like, what board you talking about? She said, the board that came with the thing. She said, you put the board on this and do the rubber bands. T was like, man, I looked at that board and it confused me. We just do. She said, well, how you do it? She said, I took rubber band, did this. We always do this. Soon as she said that, I said, oh, that's how they do us in school. That's how they do us at work. See, I know how to naturally do this, but you want me to show my work. And if I show it in a way that it doesn't match how you said it should be,
It's wrong.
you say I'm cheating or it's wrong.
It's not.
Yeah.
normal.
But I can't use your board because your board is like 1, 2, 3,
Your board is
4.
normal.
I don't do that like it. I go 4, 3, 1, 5. You see what I'm saying? Then I double back to the 2. That's how I do this. I make it, and it's natural. I can't explain it. I can show you, but if you want me to write this thing down, I'm not going to be able to do it the way that you want me to. But you're going to tell me that I'm wrong because you are setting the standard. You are setting the normal. What did you say? The common standard, the established order.
Right.
You are doing that.
Right.
But I don't listen to that anymore. I'm not going to do that. So now I get to establish the order. And this is the way I'm going to do that. And so it's not about the revenge. It's not, it's about overstanding my place where I'm at and who I am. If I am the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth,
the universe. Go ahead, teach, brother.
if I understand that, if I understand based on your teachings, not saying that that's, but I understand that that teaching. If I understand that, then I understand that everything else works around me.
Right.
Therefore,
the problem is it though. Most
huh?
people don't understand that.
That's what, and that's what I'm talking about getting back to. In order for us to work through this norm, we'll have to get back to that. We have to know that we are the gods.
Yeah,
the cream of the earth.
But whether or not they understand it is okay, because at the end of the day, all I have to do is show and prove, and want to like see. As long as I do what I got to do with my order, everything else, and again, we'll touch on this because then it gets back to, well, is this divine order or not? Is it supposed to be or is it not supposed to be? And if it's supposed to be, then I can't get mad at no other way. Right. It's like it's going to be the way that it's going to be. The student, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Yes, so all I have to do, like you said, is just prepare myself and get ready to explain why I do what I do. And I have to be ready to articulate it in such a way, as the doc used to say, I came giving you what you want so you could want what I had to give. So I got to meet you at your level. And if I meet you at your level and then we rise together, then we all good. You see what I'm saying? And you gonna make it fit. You're gonna make it fit your way. Your way ain't gonna fit with mine. We just gotta have divine, as my aunt says, we have to have reciprocity. You see what I'm saying? We have to have that truth, that justice, you know what I'm saying, and reciprocity. That's why I say in revenge, in my aunt, there ain't no, it's like this is what it is. You see what I'm saying? I watched something with Busted, and I'm gonna finish. He said, for every choice, there's an invoice attached to it. Mm-hmm. That was deep. For every choice, there is an invoice. Oh, so yeah, I can ride on that, but just remember, there's an invoice that's attached to that.
Yeah.
And whether you get it or someone on one of your loved ones catch it, it's got to manifest itself. Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
We'll go a little deeper with that thought alone and say that, and just this point, nothing's done by accident.
Again, Islam, as they say.
Listen. We know we set our history out 25,000 years ahead. Where are we? This is still just like, oh, brothers. And I ain't gonna go into the spiritual, but man, this has been set in motion way before. This is ours. It's just a matter of getting back there. Look what we up against. Let's deal now that we got an idea on how we get back there. Let's just look at the beautiful thing that's going on right now. Yeah, they are showing who they are.
Well, I mean, we all are.
Did we create that?
Of course we did. According to y'all, we did. So you can't really get mad at them.
Hey, like you said, when you vote, it's over. Ain't nothing else you can do. Let it go.
Do what you do. But
vote. And then
real quick though,
everybody knows where we are.
Wait a minute, Six. I just want to make sure because I don't want to get in trouble. I saw some lights come on. Did anybody?
Oh wait. Hey, now we all
for those that are listening,
come on.
We don't know how y'all grew up.
Okay.
On 23rd Street in Louisville, Kentucky, when the street lights came on, Petunia!
Mike! Hey, so when them street lights is on, people, we got to wrap this up. It's about that time because I'm not going to get in trouble.
But I want to tell y'all something. Once again, it's always been a pleasure to chop it up with you two brothers. You know, I learn every time that I listen to you all, and I look forward to the next time that we talk. So that I'm hoping that people that are listening to this are getting something out of this as I am, because I'm eating. I'm eating, and I love it, brother. So I tell you, I appreciate y'all and all the blessings that y'all give me.
Indeed, and everybody, just when we establish we establish this. as we establish our social media.
Well,
Get with us, comment in the YouTube joints when we as we plug those things out there, we start putting those things out.
send your feedback.
You give us the feedback, let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Give us love, encourage us, you know what I'm saying? But let's always stay positive. And by the time y'all see this, we would have already passed. I pray that everyone has voted, that has the opportunity to vote, because it is important. It's extremely important. But just no matter what, we have been through far worse.
We created this.
And we right here.
Yeah.
So rest assured that on the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and everything after that, we gonna be right here. Don't worry, rest your mind. If you believe,
You believe like
hey, God said, you say God no, he got it.
Yeah.
So stand on that. Stand on that and just rest with that, and just come on back and check out the Back Alley fellas.
Yes, sir.
We got some crazy topics that we want to address, some real things.
It's gonna be raw.
That's gonna be raw. We ain't saying we right. We just saying what we saying. We regular brothers, and you don't get a chance to hear from us and our thoughts and how we think. And we just gonna do that, from our masculine perspective with a little bit of feminine, because we always balance that out. We understand the balance of the nature of the universe.
We kind of like the male version of the View. Mike, you be Whoopi.
Hey, you told Harpo. You show is you got jokes. Okay, Joy.
It's really been good, brothers.
Well,
indeed.
Yes,
Again, one love to our brother Reg. June, can we get a little something to go out? Again, we don't own the rights to the music. You know what I'm saying? But we just want to vibe out. We're gonna be on the lookout for some new music, for us from us to vibe out. But right now, we just gonna go out the way we're supposed to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Peace and love, good brothers.
Peace and love. My man Reg, we love you. 23rd Street, stand up.
3rd Street.
Louisville, stand up.
One time.
West End, please stand up. You know what I mean? Be good. Everybody take care of yourself. Yo, tell your family.
I love you, brothers, man.
Love you too, brother. Love you more.
Man.
Love you back. And again, thank everyone for attending. What's up? What'd you say?
Thank everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
Standing in with us.
Thank you. Please continue to pray for us. Continue to vibe with us. Stand strong. Black people unite. You know what I mean? World unite. Peace to the Moorish Science Temple. Peace to the nation of Gods and Earths, nation of Islam, the Hebrew Israelites, the Kemetic brothers and sisters, the African traditional people. Peace to the whole world. Everyone.
So we ain't gonna mention Prince Hall, huh? Okay.
Oh man, I'm sorry. To the Prince Hall brothers and sisters, the Eastern Star sisters. You know what I'm saying? Not the brothers and sisters, but the Prince Hall. You know what I'm saying? Do we shout out the other Masons? Do we get to shout them out too? The Shriners and
We'll talk about that
okay. Yeah. I mean, because we can't really talk about a whole lot of stuff, brother. So you know what I'm saying? We can talk about some of it. Well, I look forward to that. I do look forward to that because I do want to learn a lot about that, brother Pat. I know we kid, but we do want to learn a little bit about that. You know what I'm saying? And again, shout out to everyone for tuning in. We love y'all. Love you, brothers. And yo.